Hey everybody, how you doing? We have a huge show tonight, so we are not going to be playing a lot of stuff because we are on the road to the 22-hour podcast. You can start donating right now by going to my little QR code friend there, and you can get on there. If you've got a story to tell, that's where you go, and you can pick a time to join us. If you want to sponsor an hour, right there. And you can be part of what we're doing. We got what was akin to one of the best birthday gifts I've ever got today. Sharing the Credit came to me on Friday and said, hey, you know what? We're going to work on something, and we're going to do some things that I think you'll really enjoy. And I was like, okay, great. Yeah, that's awesome. I can't wait. I wonder what that's going to be. Well, he got a hold of me today, Mr. Will Black, really good friend of mine, really trying hard to help us do what we do. And Will's answer to that question is quite simply this. Sharing the Credit is going to be giving away a trip for two adults and two kids for 4 days, for 5 days and 4 nights to Cancun for the 22-hour podcast. 5 days, 4 nights, trip to Cancun, and you don't have to put in any money. There's no, as you know, the bad word is raffle. There's none of that. All it is on the 22nd, we're going to need you to come in and tag 5 of your friends. You come in and tag 5 of your friends. And then 50 minutes past the last hour. So here in Colorado, that's going to be at 11:50 p.m. On the east, that's going to be 1:50 a.m. I'm going to spin a wheel on whoever has come in and shared names and drawn people to our mission of helping to provide the assistance and serve our veterans. Sharing the Credit has given us this wonderful gift, and I want to thank them so very much. You can talk to Mr. Black by going to will@sharingthecredit.com or www.sharingthecredit.com. Let me tell you this. If you have a nonprofit, you need to get a hold of them. What they do is they're a credit card processing company. But the thing is that every time a merchant uses their credit cards, the money doesn't go to a bank. The money goes to a nonprofit. So your nonprofit could really benefit from this. You get it set up to where you take it to your favorite, your favorite bar or something like that, and say, hey, instead of the money going to a bank, because the CEO of the bank needs another, another Ferrari or whatever it is. Instead, it comes to our nonprofit. If you want to learn more, get a hold of us here at Community Pay Up Forward, and I'll introduce you to Will. Talk to him. What's it going to hurt to talk to him? So, but I can't express my thanks to Will for this. We're going to be talking to three of the 4 organizations right now that we've got signed up today. on our very special show who are going to benefit from you and any participation that you have simply by scanning the little QR code. Well, it's time to bring her on, the goddess of the grape. One of my favorite people in the world. You guys know her. You guys love her. I know you do because I do. It's Stephanie Simos. How you doing?
I'm glad to be here. And wow, Cancun, how exciting. Yeah. Oh my goodness. You guys all have to tune in and share that away on the 22nd. That's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, let's put it this way. It's 44 degrees in Colorado. Cancun's looking pretty damn good right now.
Right? It's pretty cold here too. Yeah, for sure.
And we're in the Kansas part of Colorado too. So, I mean, as two of our guests today are going to be able to tell you, I live in Greeley. It's kind of funny. They can both walk outside their door and they see mountains. And they live like 20 minutes away from me. They can walk outside and see mountains. I walk outside and I smell cows. I literally live in the Kansas part of Colorado. So, and it's 20 minutes to the mountains. It's ridiculous.
You can't talk about cows with me, Zach. You know this. I'm going to go for the cows.
Yeah. Not the smell. Cows are delicious and other things, but Hey, Stephanie, I would like you to introduce our new co-host to the show. She is a new permanent co-host to the show, and we are extremely excited to invite her and have her on. But please give us an introduction.
Absolutely. I'm so excited because she's going to meet a few of the members of like the family tonight too.
Yeah.
This is like a great show that she's getting to participate on. Melissa has been a dear friend for the last few years. She is going to rock this show, you guys. I couldn't have asked for a better person to kind of step in and just continue this mission on with you, Zach. Making a big impact for everyone. So please welcome Melissa Lozada. She's going to be moving forward the face. I guess you can take my name, the goddess of the grape is going to be passed on.
Well, we're hoping she doesn't take your place. We're just hoping that, she's going to add to our show while you get internet figured out and everything on the new homestead. But Melissa, one of the things that you do that I am extremely excited about is you are bringing in the west part of the United States. So now we are literally West Coast, Mid, and East Coast. I mean, all three of us right now, from California to Pennsylvania, we're all in here, and it is so great to have you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that warm welcome. Thank you, Stephanie, for the recommendation. Zach, it's so nice to meet you and to be here. And, it's an honor to be so highly spoken about by my friend Stephanie. And for Zach, thank you for trusting me to do this with you. I'm looking forward to sharing, making impact, and having a good time with you guys and getting to learn about all these nonprofits, and that's what it's about. And that's why we're here, to support one another. So thank you.
It is a wonderful time. And we are going to learn more about you towards the end of the show. But we've got three guests right now, three of the nonprofits that we're working with. And they're both on a little bit of a time crunch. We decided to go on ahead and do this show today this way so we can start raising money for them right away. And so, Melissa, we're going to get back to learning a lot more about you as this goes on, but I want to go on ahead and bring on our guests right now. First off is one of my dearest friends in the world. I love her to death. She is with Healing Warriors, Miss Janet Hatfield. How are you doing, sweetheart?
Always good. How about you? Hey, Steph.
Doing great. Also joining us, I think he's almost a co-host of this show. So he's been on this particular show quite often. Mr. Bart Bartholomew from Veterans Honoring Veterans, one of everybody's favorites. This guy's like, he's like the hero of the show.
Well, good evening, everybody. Melissa, nice to meet you. Janet, it's not going to be very long before we get together and get all of our hugs,
I know. Yeah, I'm stockpiling. You owe me lots.
We're missing a lot of hugs together. Stephanie, it's so good to see you again. And Zach, thank you so very much for what you do for our community and what this little thing started on that side road over there where I met you with a handful of clothes. Look what you have done, my friend.
Yeah, well, you know what?
You're amazing.
I tell you all the time, Bart, I couldn't be doing what I do without you. So, I mean, that's just it. So, and then also joining us, you guys on the channel know him very well. He is a co-host of Footprints Forward. He's been very busy of late, so we haven't seen him near as much as we want. But the founder of the Price of Freedom Foundation, and Janet and Bart, I can't wait to introduce you to him, Mr. Dennis Schroeder. Dennis, brother, how you doing?
I'm doing great. It's always an honor to be on here, and it's great meeting 3 new faces, and look forward to tonight's show as well as what you're doing on the 22nd. Good to see you all.
Yeah, it's like I said, this is our 3rd year of doing this. Oh, there's the Cancun thing again, just to remind you guys. Make sure that you join us for and chance to win. But this started 3 years ago, just as a way to say, hey, we've got 1% of society that raises their hands and gives that oath, yet over half of the suicides in this nation have a military background. And those numbers are awful. And all 3 of you work in a different way to honor and to secure and to recognize people who have served this country. So Janet, let's start with you on Healing Warriors. Can you please tell us a little bit about Healing Warriors, what it is and what you guys do?
Absolutely. So we are a veteran nonprofit 501c3. We've been around since 2013, and our main mission is suicide prevention for veterans. We're located in Fort Collins, but we also do monthly pop-up clinics in Longmont, Denver, and Colorado Springs. So our main mission, again, suicide prevention, and how we do that is we really look at the factors that lead to suicidal ideation. So we treat for PTSD, traumatic brain injuries, chronic pain, interpersonal trauma, sleep disturbances, grief, anger, all of those issues. And we do all of that at no cost. And we do it all as non-narcotic, integrative, evidence-based treatment series. So it's at no cost for not only the veteran, but it's also at no cost for their spouse, their partner, and their parents, because we understand that the connectedness of bringing the family into the treatment program is extremely important, because a lot of times the family or the caregivers are suffering just as much as the veterans are. So we've done over 40,000 treatments in our clinic. We have our 2,000 square foot clinic in Fort Collins at Drake and Shields. And we also have a client care specialist, 2 of them actually, that meet with every single client that comes in to find out what else can we help you with. Is it food? Is it housing? Is it spiritual? Is it educational? What can we help with? And so we're connected with almost 400 different service organizations, veteran service organizations. And we try to then pair that up with whatever needs they may have outside of what we're trying to help them with, because all of those external factors can lead to their healing process slowing down by huge amounts if we don't solve all the issues. So, and we try to make sure that we have a direct connection at most of those VSO partners, because the last thing we want to do is take them through the mill of just handing them a website and having them have to navigate it, because then you end up losing them in the shuffle. So we're a registered VA vendor, so we're a community provider through the VA. And we also just last year, and they re-upped us this year, received a huge grant from the VA for their Sergeant Fox grant, which their entire initiative through the VA was suicide prevention. And so we were one of only 3 in the state and one of only 85 in the country that got that grant for us to be able to, because we were already on a suicide prevention mission, for us to be able to expand and get to those areas that are underserved and that we may not be hitting by providing us resources to be able to do that.
I think I love what you guys do because you guys go to where the need is with the pop up, and it's not you know it's again you're not talking about you're not talking about popping a pill and saying you're all better now.
Right.
You know,
Because that doesn't make them better. It
no.
literally just masks most of the symptoms. And we're trying to teach them how to heal on a more natural level. What our three modalities are: acupuncture, cranial sacral work, and then healing touch, which 2 out of the 3, the VA is now really recognizing as, yes, these are non-narcotic things that are really helping our troops and, our veterans, our service members, all of that. So they're getting more in line, understanding that a lot of the opioid crisis and a lot of the addiction problems stems from the way that most of these people, when they come back, this is what they get handed. Here's a whole slew of prescriptions and good luck. So we're trying to basically reverse all of that. We're not there to cure things. We're there to help you manage what you have going on. We work directly with their primary care physicians. You don't have to be a part of the VA. We serve every era, every branch of service. It doesn't need to be just post 9/11. Your injuries don't have to come from combat. It doesn't matter to us. As long as you have a DD-214 or a military ID, you're in. Costs you nothing. You get a minimum of about 18 visits through our program, and we let you try everything out to figure out what works the best for you. We tailor everything towards the veteran. It's not about us. It's about what's going to help them.
And Janet, let me ask you this question real quick, and then I'm going to bring on the ladies to ask a question or two. But what did the donations mean to Healing Warriors program? What do donations allow for you to do? What are you allowed to bring in every time you get a donation?
Yeah, I mean, donations is what keeps us running, and that's why we can do things at no cost. We're totally funded through grants, through fundraising, and through donations. So, and it's either national grants, federal grants, or local grants, or, corporate partners. I mean, every dollar that we can bring in is what allows us to do those pop-up clinics for no cost, because those are just walk-in clinics. You don't even have to make an appointment there. The sessions are a little bit shorter, but we have those in the specific VFWs and American Legions that are located in areas where there's a lot of homeless vets. There is a huge veteran population, because we want to be able to serve as many people as we possibly can. We even, and Bart knows this too. I mean, when Veterans Plaza has their Memorial Day celebration, or when the combat veterans are coming through, we literally set up shop out there so that when those guys get off their motorcycles, we can treat them right there on the grass under tents. So we're trying to be everywhere that we can be to help those people that have either given up or don't realize that there is help out there, even if they've been dealing with this for 40 years. So every dollar helps. I think about 78 to 82 cents of every dollar goes towards programming. We try to not spend anything on anything else that we don't possibly have to. So we try to put as much towards all the programming costs as we can, so that nobody has to sit there and choose between their light bill and getting help.
Yep. Stephanie.
Janet, I've said this before, and it's so nice to see you, by the way.
Oh, you too.
I just love how you curate your care to the person. I love how you involve the family. And I love that, you kind of go where the need is so that they don't have to travel far for it. I love your program. I need to connect with you outside of this, because
yes, we need to do another one of these.
Yeah, another one of these outside of this, because I think that maybe we may be able to help each other from different states in some way, shape, or form. But I love it. I think that, Zach says this all the time. Everyone heals differently. And that's like a big line that we use on our Footprints Forward show weekly. And I feel like you're doing just that. You're finding what they need, and you're supporting them with that. So I don't have any questions. I just love what you guys are doing.
Thank you. Yeah, there is no cookie cutter approach to this. Every veteran suffers differently, whether they're male, female, whatever it happens to be. there just isn't a cookie cutter approach to any of this. So literally our clinic is set up with the veteran in mind. And I think that's where a lot of primary cares, even VA, a lot of places suffer, is that they don't have the empathy for the veterans that they should, and they don't understand the questions to ask. They don't understand the environment to set up for them to make it a trusting, safe, comfortable environment for them. Every one of our treatment rooms are set up for them. The smells, the sounds, the way that the furniture is put. I mean, so everything is about them. Again, it's not about us. It's not about our egos. If we put somebody in an acupuncture series and after 3 times that they've been in, it's really not working for them, we're not going to, it's not like a gym membership where we go, nope, sorry, you're stuck in acupuncture for the rest of the time. No, we're going to get you out of there and figure out, okay, let's try this modality for a few weeks, and now let's try this one, and let's see what works the best in combination with, because we also provide coping kits with every single series that's tailored to them. So if they're in our cancer support series, we have a whole coping kit that has everything from aromatherapy inhalers to help with nausea, blankets, all skin treatments. Every one of them also comes with a self-contained playaway unit, which is a guided imagery set that we give to every single person that comes in as well, that's tailored towards what series they're in. We have them for grief, anxiety, anger, you name it. And because some people don't have Wi-Fi or some people don't have access to it, these are all self-contained. It's pop a battery in, they've got the headphones, it's all already preloaded, and it makes it nice and easy. Because one of the biggest problems that a lot of veterans face is they can't turn off the noise. They can't find a focus. So guided imagery is a huge piece of self-help and mindfulness that helps them to finally be able to sleep and to find focus and to start to heal with their own selves and with us as a helping mechanism for that.
Well, I definitely encourage everybody to go and check out healingwarriorsprogram.org, healingwarriorsprogram.org. Melissa, this is the first time you've got to meet Janet.
Hi, Melissa.
Hi, Janet. Wow. First day on the show, and I'm just so touched already. You know, the story is amazing. Love this nonprofit, and from a person that has a couple of soldiers in her family, and you know, my sister's in the Army, totally relate to this, and I would love to recommend your services to her as well. It's amazing what you do, and if I could be of any help as well, you know, to help you guys out, I'm here. I have nothing to say. Oh, one question I did have. If do the people that come to you, do they need a referral from a doctor, or are they open to just come to you guys? Okay. Awesome.
Nope, they generally, if they give us a call, or they can go online too. We have a contact us page, and under every single program it has its own contact page too. So if they're zeroed in on like our trauma series and they say, hey, I really want to know more about this, we will get back with them. Usually within about 3 to 4 hours, somebody will contact them and get their appointment set up, and they can usually get an appointment within 24 to 36 hours. We can get them in. That's why the accessibility part is huge, because the biggest struggle that a lot of the veterans have after they start entering the system is the accessibility factor is rough. It takes a ton of paperwork. It takes them forever to get an appointment. They get put off, you know, so it's a lot. And so we try to make it extremely easy for somebody to come to us. Like I said, the only thing that they need is their DD-214 or a military ID. And like I said, and that's the same with their spouse, their partner, the parents. Doesn't matter who they are, widowers, bring in the ID, and that's all you need.
Awesome.
I love it.
Love it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Well, thanks.
Janet, we're honored again to be associated with you in any way.
Oh,
and I want to thank you very much on a personal note for everything that you do for working with us, and I want to thank you, and I want to welcome you back to the 22-hour program. And this year, you know what, we're working hard, and a lot of great things are happening this year. You guys, in which I am scheduled to have the timing on this. But one of the other things that you are going to be doing is you're going to be sitting at a Buffalo Wild Wings in Fort Collins on the 21st for us and introducing yourself to people, because Buffalo Wild Wings here in Northern Colorado is going to open their stores. The Greeley, Fort Collins, and Loveland stores are going to open their stores and give 10% of all the meals on Wednesday, the 21st. And you're going to be in Fort Collins for me because although I'm a big guy, I'm not big enough to be in 3 stores at once.
Well, and it may not be me. It might be my counterpart, Brooke. But yeah, because she said I will be happy to take that, because right now I'm dealing with, you know, setting up our 5K and our golf tournament and all that too. So I have a lot of plates spinning right now. But she said she'd be more than happy to hang out there. I just need to get a flyer from you, and then we can push it out there and get her out there. And yeah, excited.
That should, like I said, I'm hoping that happens tomorrow. So, and I'll get that done. I met Brooke today.
Oh, good.
Finally over the phone, we finally were able to connect, and I can't wait to be working with you guys in association with that as well. I gave her an offer that she can talk to you about, because I think that what you guys are getting started is wonderful. So
well, and you'll be at our 5K again, hopefully.
I will be
having you there.
I will be. I won't be running. Don't worry. Don't worry.
So, I will be, but not on the track or
not
on the race course. So.
Yeah. I'll be running to the snack bar. But,
yeah, absolutely. I'll put you right next to where the food's going to be. How's that?
Sounds good for me. So, but thank you again, Janet. And of course, if you have any questions, please pop in and ask. And I know that time is short, but stick around as long as you can.
Oh, definitely.
So our next guest tonight is, like I said, he's the big old teddy bear. I love the guy. He actually came to my home and broke bread with us a couple weeks back. It was great to have him here. It was just kind of one of those things. Every once in a while, I like to throw a barbecue for anybody and everybody who can come up. And this gentleman came over and sat there, talked to my parents. And, you know, as he mentioned, this all started when he went to donate clothing. And at our next guest, I'd like to introduce is Mr. Bart from Veterans Honoring Veterans. How are you doing, sir?
I am doing fantastic, and I'm really pleased to be. No offense against you, Dennis, or you, Zach. Monk beauty. Look at what you've done. I mean, you have got 3 of the prettiest ladies that I've ever seen, man. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's easy for me to it's easy for me to do when I'm away from them, you know, to get them on to come onto the computer when I'm nowhere near them. That's pretty easy.
Well,
so
yeah, that is. I want to start off my time just a little bit by talking about that Janet we just listened to. I have, and you've seen some of it because you've been some of the places she's been. She is a whirlwind. She is 7 places. She's one person. She sets up, she breaks down, she organizes, and she does it all. And then now to see her in this role, I know she was in it. This lady just literally amazes me, and I'm proud to be a friend of hers, and I get to see her once in a while at some of our events, and so. Yes, and they do. She said they put the vets on the grass, but they really don't put the vets on the grass. They have a table there. They let them put the table on the grass and then put the vet on the table. So I want to clarify that, because, you know, some of you guys might think rolling around in the grass. Now here we go, you know, but no.
Well, you know, a lot of times with bikers, though, Bart, we do like to roll around in the grass once we're done. You know, after a while. Oh, by the way, Bart, just wanted to show you. I'm wearing mine too, brother. My bracelet that you guys, it's my gift from you, and it's always on my wrist. We had a little girl who was here from New Mexico that we were watching for about a month and a half because her mom had surgery. So we were watching her, and every time I turn around, she'd be trying to sneak that off my wrist. She just wanted to keep it. And of course, she's got these little tiny wrists, so she'd go to put it on and it'd slip all the way up on her shoulder. So, but Bart, tell us a little bit about Veterans Honoring Veterans.
It's pretty simple. It's not nearly convoluted as Healing Warriors. Healing Warriors really does an amazing thing for the veteran. I'm a client. or not currently, but I've been a client of Healing Warriors, and very successful, and will be a return client here shortly. But briefly, we are a feel-good nonprofit, and in a touchy-feely kind of way. We in 2017, I was at a ship's reunion. My ship was decommissioned in 1970, and we've been having reunions ever since. And at one of the reunions, one of the sailors got up, and he was in full Navy retired Navy uniform, full commander, equal to you, Lieutenant Colonel. But anyway, he got up there, and he called up another veteran, and when the other veteran got up there, he handed him a little statue, about 12 inches tall. I think I have one. I might go get one real quick. But anyway, he did that to two different sailors during the banquet. And I contacted him afterwards and said, hey, it's pretty cool. Is this a franchise? What are you doing? How does somebody get involved with it? And he gave me a little a story on how he did it. So I came back to Colorado, and I met with several people and started a nonprofit, and we called it Veterans Honoring Veterans. And since we started in 2017, started presenting in 2018, we presented 750 statues to veterans in northern Colorado, and we just received one of our first very large grants. Well, it wasn't even a grant; it was a donation. Let me rephrase that. And it's going to allow us now to do what I've been wanting to do for a long time, and that's go into nursing, skilled nursing, memory care, find the veterans that are shut in that do not have the opportunity to get out and come to our breakfast, which we do on the first and third and presenting. We do our breakfast every Saturday, but now this is going to allow me to get to those veterans. So I'm really excited about that, and I'm excited about the 21st. Zach, I've been around you a little bit, and I see how you operate, and I am so thrilled that it's coming up again, and I really am happy. And I want to share one other story about what the cause is. And Janet mentioned Fort Collins, the Veterans Plaza. I happened to be there quite a few times in the past few years, and this last Memorial Day in 2023, we had our table set up, and a young lady and a small boy walked by, and as I always do to everybody, I say, "Are you a veteran or a family member of a veteran?" And she said, "Yeah, my son was a veteran." And I said, "Well, come on over. Let me tell you what we're doing here." And I got partially into what was going on, and she said, "Well, my son's no longer with us." And I said, "Oh." So I stopped. I said, "I'm sorry." She said, "Yeah, he was a Marine for 6 years, did like 3 deployments, and came back. And a year after he came back, he committed suicide." And boy, that just took the wind right out of my sail. I had to totally regroup. I didn't know really where to go. It never happened to me before. So to make a long story short, we visited, and I told her, I said, we have given the statues to family members posthumously, and if you would like something like that to happen for your Michael, I said we'd be more than glad to. And it turned out that we did. We brought her to a breakfast, as well as her grandson came, and they both accepted the statue for Uncle and the son. They had shirts on that said Michael, my son, and then Michael, my uncle, and it was really a wonderful, warm feeling. A lot of tears that day, because I did share the fact that she had lost her son in suicide. But cute story. Right after I did that, about 2 or 3 weeks, she called me up and she said, I got a problem. I need to know how much those statues are. So I told her, and I said, why are you asking? She says, well, my grandson thought that statue was going to be his. And so I gave it to him. And now I need a statue of my son. I said, well, good for you, Grandma. I said, we'll fix that up. And Zach, he also wears a bracelet, and every time he sees me, he shows me his bracelet. So, we have some really, really good feel-good stories when we present some of these statues, and we've had them hold them up like trophies. Like I've won first place, and I had a World War II guy that got his picture on the front page of our local paper, holding it up like, hey, I just got first place. He was 97, 98 years old. So we see tears from grown men. It's just, I'm a Navy veteran from the 60s. We did not get a real warm welcome when we came back. We did not get the pat on the back when we came back. This is my way of starting something up to where I can thank these veterans in a way that they're going to go home with something, and they're going to put it on their banister, their shelf, in their window, and they're going to be able to look at it and say, someone cared. So mine's kind of a little feel-good story, but I love it, and we're doing great things with it.
Well, I will attest to it, and I tell this story every time that we're together. And when he's talking about these veterans that take these and just cherish them. Bart came to one of our events, and there was a Korea War vet that was there, and he was presented one. And because somebody was slacking in his duties, who will remain nameless, we were unable to get the names put on them. So Bart was just going to give this guy a statue that he was going to receive, but not one that was personalized to him yet. And Bart gave this statue to this gentleman, and I'm going to tell you something. It almost took an act of Congress to get it back from this guy. He did not want to go away. It was like he won an Oscar. He wanted that statue so bad, and Bart was, sir, we'll get you one with your name and everything on it. But I mean, he was. I'll tell you something. For a little old guy, he was pretty dang quick. He was
pretty feisty. Pretty feisty. I never had arm wrestling.
Yeah. So, Stephanie, do you have anything for Bart?
Bart, I love that story. And it's touching. And I love that you get everyone together as like a community to really support each other at these breakfasts, to be able to honor them in that way. Makes me think you are right. Cause there's someone who's close to me, been in my life since I was very young. He's like a father to me, and he served. And thinking about it as you're talking, like we care about him, but has he ever been honored like that? I don't think so. I don't think so. You're right. People come back and it's like, okay, go to work, go, kind of do your thing, and they're not recognized. So I remember looking at your website, months back, and you're doing so much and so much personalization with your site in order to honor them with these statues. So just keep up the good work. And I can't wait to see all that you're doing in the future. Keep those numbers growing. It's amazing how many you've handed out over the last year.
Well, thanks, Stephanie.
Before I move on.
Oh, sorry, Zach.
No,
go ahead. We talked about the bracelets the last time. Is that something new that you're doing?
No, the bracelet is kind of a promotional type thing that we try to do. Let me grab one here real quick.
Here, I can just do this, Bart. Okay, all right. Let me go on ahead and put myself on the big screen here. But yeah, there's just like little sections of it that has the Army, the flag, America, Navy, POW. I love the biker one, of course. You have all of these different little logos, including all the services and
every branch of the service, the American flag, every Coast Guard we've had since World War II, got the Liberty Bell, got a few other things that
the eagle that says strength, one of my favorite ones.
So these, we don't make these, we purchase these online, so it's nothing that we invented, but it's something that is attractive. We'll get someone over to our table as well as our statues. Zach, show the bracelet again. I'm gonna give him a statue.
Well, one of the other things, Stephanie, that they have is they've got the team coins that are just really cool. And these are all things. Of course, I walk over to his table and I take all of his stuff because that's just the kind of guy I am. But their coins are beautiful. It has everything on it as well. The veterans honoring veterans. Beautiful, beautiful thing. I'll always have this with me. So let me put back on the big screen to show one of them off.
This is the Air Force statue, and if you just, as I turn it around, just look at the detail of this thing. It's pretty impressive, and the Navy one is a sailor, Marine, Army. They're both in combat. Then our lady statue, we have a American eagle, bald-headed eagle, with its wings spread out and the talons hanging on to an American flag. And then we also have one of a lady standing at attention with a salute, and she's got her fatigues on, or whatever they call them. And so the ladies have a choice of having a one in uniform or having the eagle and the flag. So we make sure our ladies are well received as far as being equals. We had a tough time for a long time because there was no statues of a female service member, and so it was hard to get. So that's why we came up with the American flag. But when we did that, all the whiny men started saying, "Well, I want an American flag with a golden eagle." I said, "Well, you whiny, you got your soldier, you got your sailor. Quit crying." Man, these guys are whiners. Gee.
Yeah. Oh, Melissa.
Bart, you made me all teary-eyed and choked up over here because I was visioning like my family receiving one of these for my uncle or that passed. And what you do is just so nice. The way you acknowledge the families, the way you just commit to your community. I mean, it's beautiful. And I would love to just learn more about your nonprofit as well.
Yeah, you're free to look at our website. I want to thank you for your sister's service, and proud of her and the other parts of the family. And I will tell all of you here, this is a Northern Colorado venture, so we're trying to control it in Northern Colorado. But there have been people in California, have been people on the East Coast. We had a 107-year-old Marine lady sergeant that we found. She was having a birthday, so I got all of her information, and we sent her a statue, and she got it before her birthday, so she was able to show it. But it was a surprise to her. So saying that, we cannot give statues away to outside it's according to our kind of our mission statement, but we'd more than glad to get the information, and you can purchase plus shipping, and we can send one to a family member at and really we wouldn't mind doing that at all. We're not advertising for out of state stuff, but on things like this, if there's someone that is dear and true to your heart and you want something, please feel free to contact me. We'll work it out, and we can get something shipped off to them.
Yeah.
Yes, that sounds beautiful. I would love that.
If you're out of state and you want to try to get someone from your family one of these, get a hold of us at Community Pay It Forward. See if we can maybe help you raise a little bit of money, and we can pay for this and honor your family. Look, it's not a fact that Bart doesn't want to do it. It's a fact that they're a little pricey, so got to kind of control it sometime. You can be a nice guy for a little while, but being too nice is just a little dangerous. So.
Yeah.
Well,
thank you so much.
Thank you, Melissa, and really we're glad to have you on Zach's show, because he's got something really great growing here.
Yes, I see. I'm loving it already. Thank you for sharing your story.
I'm going to have to pull out in about 5 minutes. I got another one coming up that we're working on, and everybody like this too. My American Legion here in Berthoud, we applied for a grant from the VA, and we were awarded the grant, and we've been given $32,000 to help veterans in the northern Colorado area get back on their feet. It's a hand up, not a handout. We're making sure that they follow through and do something. But so if anybody on this podcast today knows of a veteran that is seeking some financial problems, we have to vet them. We have to prove that they are properly asking for the right money for the right thing. And so if you know somebody, have them contact me. We've given about $3,000 out so far to 2 or 3 veterans, so it's starting to work. But we got more money to go. So please contact us if we can, we will.
Do you have an application or anything for that, Bart?
No, it's not an application. We've got guidelines and we have line items. So what we do is I get the name and I contact the person. I get their DD-214. I talk to them, find out why they're in the problem they're in, and then what kind of help they need to solve that problem. And then we have a certain amount of money per line item that we can do. So we paid a $1,200 house bill, and we got gift cards for King Soopers. So we got a way to help if they're deserving, and just because they're a veteran doesn't mean that they've done everything right, and they're not panhandlers. They're not going door to door trying to hit everybody up. So we have to watch it pretty closely.
Do they
well,
have
it's good to know, though. I'll pass that along to our CCS folks because that just gives another,
And do they have to have served in conflict time, or is this? Okay, perfect.
They have to have a DD-214 and an honorable discharge.
That's perfect. So, hey, Bart, I know you got to run, brother. Thank you so much. It is so good to talk to you. Anytime I get to talk to you makes my day a hell of a lot better. So thank you very much. And we will see you here in about, oh my God, it's 15 days from today. Oh God, I just realized that. Oh,
hey, settle down. You'll be all right. You've done this before. You're a pro at this. Take a deep breath.
Yeah. But Bart will be at the Loveland Buffalo Wild Wings on the 21st talking about veterans, honoring veterans. So please, if you're in the northern Colorado area, in the Loveland area, go and visit Bart. Once again, we'll have all the information. It'll be on the website. I'll be announcing it all over the place on what times they'll be there. But it's going to be a great time. Look, either one of those stops is well worth the trip. And who doesn't love a little bit of wild wing?
Hey, even if I'm eating a wing, come up and talk to me anyway.
That's right.
I love wings.
Well, I was going to say they're going to have to come up and interrupt me. I'm going to be eating wings. So, probably not going to want to shake my hand, but, I got an elbow too. So, but anyway. All right, Bart.
Thanks, everybody.
Go out and do the good that you do. Thank you, sir.
All right. We'll see you all later. Bye-bye.
All right. I love all of you guys. I really do. Bart he's one of those guys, and Janet, you'll attest to this. You and I talk about him every time we get together,
Yeah, he's amazing.
I was on the radio yesterday with Sue, and we talked about you. We talked about you, and we talked about Bart. And it was like, and it was like, and it's funny, as soon as you mention his name, he's just one of those guys.
Yeah.
You just got the smile on your face,
Exactly.
It's never like, oh God, it's Bart. It's
and I can't even imagine him being an ex-cop. You don't see it when you see him because he's such a teddy bear,
Yeah.
And when you find out he was a cop at one point too, you're like, no way.
Yeah.
I know. I think it's going to end up being like the Bart and Janet show at some point because everybody seems to start pairing us up. It's pretty funny.
Oh yeah, it's great. So, but Bart, and please go and check out veteranshonoringveterans.org. It's a really cool thing that he's doing. And like I said, if you know a veteran in Northern Colorado that is having a little bit of problems, what a better way to lift their spirits than show them, hey, we care, we're thinking of you, thank you for your service. So speaking of somebody who takes and makes sure that you're not just a statistic, you've got your story told. I love this program because, again, when it comes to what we're talking about, there are a lot of numbers out there. 1%, 70%, 45 a day, whatever it is. You forget every once in a while that there is a person behind that number. Dennis Schroeder started the Price of Freedom Foundation in order to make sure the name in front of that number means something. And I'd like to introduce everyone to Dennis Schroeder right now. How you doing, Dennis?
I'm doing great. Thanks again for having me on. I'm Dennis Schroeder. I'm a retired Army Lieutenant Colonel. Spent 24 years as a medical service corps officer in the Army. And it's about 5 years ago that I started this organization. It's a 501c3 nonprofit. I wish I could say that we were grant funded, but we're not. Had 3 different grant writers fail to find any grants for us. And I think part of the issue is that I stumbled upon a niche that really hasn't been served very well. And that is honoring the memories of those who died while in military service to our nation. And that's exactly what the Price of Freedom Foundation is dedicated to doing. So, yes, we have Memorial Day. Yes, we have short biographies that are available online. Military Times has a great website that has a short biography on every person who's died in action since 2001. But there's a whole lot of other folks that aren't, and even those short biographies don't tell the whole story. One of the inspirations for me when I was first trying to get this off the ground was a Gold Star mother that I met here. I live just north of Nashville in Tennessee. And this mother had a son who was lost at sea in the Gulf of Aden. And had a bridge in Franklin, Tennessee named after her son. However, what she was telling me was that her son is so much more than just a name on a bridge, that nobody really knows who he was. And that was really cemented in my mind and in my heart, the purpose for what we do. We are currently working with 4 families. Typically, we start with a Gold Star family member who wants to have their lost loved one's entire story told. We have one story complete that is machinist mate Alfonso Abdel Amos, who was lost at sea off the deck of the USS Kitty Hawk in October of 1998. What we do is we do in-depth research because no one has the complete story of the fallen. The only person who has your life story completely is you. And when you were not around, we need to interview a lot of people to piece it all together. And that's what we did with Alfonso. I have a copy of the book that's currently available. It's called Silent Soul, the MM1 Alfonso Abdel Amos story. And it's available at all online retailers. I would say if somebody's thinking about acquiring a copy of this book, they should do a search for the Price of Freedom Chronicles, because this is the only book that will come up if you do that kind of search. If you do Silent Soul, you'll get pages and pages of books, and ours is probably buried on the last page. But what we do is, and in Alfonso's case, because it had been so many years since he was lost at sea, and us being in touch with one of his daughters, there were a lot of folks that aren't around anymore. So his parents are no longer alive. We were able to interview each of his surviving children, his widow, several of his friends from the time that he was in the Navy, some other relatives, and we were able to piece this story together, and it was a voyage of discovery for everyone involved, because nobody knew everything about him. And so in this case, Afonso was born in the Philippines. He served some time in the Philippine Army prior to joining the U.S. Navy at the behest of his father to make a better life for himself. Once he was in the U.S. Navy, he met his wife, who was in the Philippines as well, got married, 18 and a half years, had 3 children. The fact that he had spent time in the Philippine Army was complete news to his children, who were in their late 20s to mid 30s at the time as we were doing this this research. And there were pieces to his story as we were talking to his widow and to his friends, that they were surprised by some of the information as well. So this was, and not in a bad way, but this process helps families to get the full picture of who their loved one was, and it's consolidated into a single story. So we got a writer to pull all of these interviews that we did together, took all of the photos, all of the information we could get from the Navy, and gave that writer the task of writing the story. And that's what he did. He did a great job. His name is Keith Hayden. He's a Air Force Academy graduate that is currently a military dependent and has written 2 other books as well. But he had been a criminal investigator for the Air Force. And so he brought that investigator's mindset into to this task. And it became clear to me that being able to have a researcher assigned to each story is extremely helpful. So we're looking for researchers to help us with the 3 stories that we're currently working on. But honestly, the mission is so much larger than this small number. You know, there are literally close to, well, the military doesn't make it easy to find the total numbers, but my estimate is somewhere between 800 and 1,000 people, men and women, die every year while on active duty. And we would like each of those families to know that we can tell their loved one's story. We can compile it. We can preserve it for future generations, and we can tell it to a much wider audience than they can reach. And that is the number one issue that Gold Star families have, is the sense a year or 2 after their loved one has passed that they've been forgotten outside that family and small circle of friends. So we produce the books, but we also know that, like we're doing right now, we're not writing things back and forth, are we? We're watching a video. We know that video is the wave that we need to be able to tell these stories. So we record all these interviews. We have 44 hours worth of video for our first story, but we don't have the resources to create the documentary that we want to make for that. And we want to do that for each and every story that we tell, because getting that story out into the greater public is going to address that primary issue for those families. Secondarily, we ask veterans who have lost a comrade to pay tribute to that person. We'd prefer that to be done in a video. We can do a video interview, or they can just do a video on their own to talk about that person, to talk about who they were and how they knew them, and the kinds of things that made that person the person that they were, because we want those stories told. And we believe too that once we have some of those, that we can do outreach to those families and say, hey, your loved one had a buddy who pay tribute to them in this way. Just let us show you what else we can do for you. So yes, we would love to have grants. We don't have them currently. We do not yet have any corporate sponsors. Everything currently has been coming from individual donations, the help of organizations like yours. And we do have an event that we are planning to have in August 10th on the USS Midway is where we'll be presenting this book to the family and the friends who we interviewed to put this book together. Because the USS Midway is a museum currently in San Diego and was one of the ships that Alfonso was assigned to twice during his career. But I will tell you that is not a cheap or easy event to hold. The rental of the museum for an hour is by itself is $1,200. So we'd like to be able to bring the author, the writer from Okinawa, where he's living currently. Airfare alone starts at $1,300. Mm-hmm. So these are all things that, up to this point, the majority of funds that have been expended have come out of my pocket, and unfortunately, I don't have deep pockets. So if I did, I wouldn't even have to ask. But that's our mission, and this is for one person. And honestly, I wish that we could say that money doesn't matter, because in my opinion it shouldn't, but there are realities, and I can't get the airlines to say to come in agreement to fly the writer out there at no cost. But I don't want this to be something that somebody says, well, my loved one isn't worth trying to raise $30,000 or $50,000 to do the documentary for, or another $10,000 or $12,000 to do the book for. That's not the way we should be thinking. That's not how I think. It frustrates me that I don't have the resources personally to do this all on my own, but we just don't, and we need people to come on board with us and help in whatever way they can. Volunteers made a huge difference. Our writer spent 5 months of his life researching and writing this book. He did not ask for any money up front. We're sharing royalties off sales that we get with him, but I also recognize that most writers are not going to be able to be in a position where they can do that. And so we'd like to be able to be in a position ourselves to say, hey, we're going to pay you this amount up front, and then a commission, a royalties sharing arrangement afterwards. But we're just not in that place. And honestly, my vision is not just for the thousands and thousands of service members who died here in the United States. I'd love to be able to open this to all veterans, the men and women who survived their time in uniform and went on to live a life, and we want to honor that. I'd love to be able to offer this for our law enforcement and firefighters, our first responders. Honestly, I think this is an international cause. I believe that most of at least certainly of our allies, most of the countries in the world that I'm aware of do have a special place in their heart for those who put their lives on the line for the benefit of the others in their community. And I would love to see, before my time on this earth passes, for us to grow this into an international organization. So anyway, here I am in this little tiny cigar lounge in White House, Tennessee, speaking with people who have known me and loved this mission, and hopefully we can attract more people to us. If somebody's willing to volunteer, we can probably put you to good use in whatever capacity that you can give us.
Yeah, Bart, or I'm sorry, Dennis. One of the things that you guys do not punish is somebody who takes their own life. You guys still want to sell that story? You guys still want to tell that story?
Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact,
this is still a war wound, is it not?
I'm going to give away a little bit about this story. I really don't really want to, because it's like you want people to read the book, right? But there's a mystery, and there's a very real possibility that Alfonso took his own life. And so that was, and you and Stephanie know my own story with my own struggles with depression and suicidal ideation all through my entire time that I was in the military. So, I have a heart for those and those families that survived where that service member actually took action on that. And so, in my opinion, those families need this more so than anybody else, because there's the stigma and the shame surrounding suicide. And I think that nobody is served well by staying silent about it. If we are the two principles that I tell my writers, Keith, and this is up to this point, but I will be telling to any future writer, is that we want to tell the story truthfully and honorably. That's it. We don't want to make everybody a hero, because not everybody is a hero in the traditional sense of the word. We don't come with any political agendas. We want to stay away from politics if at all possible, because I want this to be something that draws people together rather than divides people and separates them. Because Alfonso served everybody. He served our entire nation. Every person who puts the uniform on serves everybody in our nation by their service. And every person who ever takes that oath of office or oath of enlistment knows that they could be asked to give their life. And so I want to honor that. And certainly for those who did lose their life in service, I want to extrapolate that, because honestly, I think by telling these stories of real people, unglamorized, no Hollywood kind of makeup or anything like that, we're going to give the American people and whoever listens to these stories a truer and clearer picture of what it means to serve.
I think it means so much, because families suffer whether you die of cancer or you take your own life, and it shouldn't matter, because death is death, and death is pain a lot of times. Look, people are suffering when they take their own life. They're not having a great day and just decide, to hell with it, I'm done. That's not the way this goes. And one of the things that we try to get across when it comes to Footprints is it's not one person who's suffering from depression, it's everyone there. So telling the stories of a person, because that's who's gone. It's not a number. It's not a statistic. It's a person that's gone.
Right.
Telling that story is so important. Stephanie?
Dennis, I've heard you speak of the Price of Freedom Foundation so many times, and the passion shines through every single time. And I feel like every time I hear you talk about it, I learn something new. Like today, I had no idea that you wanted to expand this to, police officers, firefighters, and internationally. Like it's amazing. And your passion for this and your dedication truly shines through. And I'm just so excited to be along the ride and have watched this kind of come together. And I can't wait to see this presented to the family. I think that moment is going to be so big. And just the start, just the wrap up of the first chapter, really, of the Price of Freedom Foundation. So thank you for everything you're doing. I don't have any questions, because I feel like we see each other quite often. So I kind of do a little bit, and it's all great things. So you guys, check out the book. It's awesome. It's awesome, the work that they're doing, and the in-depth research into that person's life is so meaningful. And you're right, it can't come from a short bio. So definitely, if you haven't yet, check out his website and check out the book, because they're doing really great things.
And one of the things that's important to remember, let me give you 3 names. Sergeant Breonna Alexandria Moffett, Sergeant Kennedy Landon Sanders, and Sergeant William Jerome Rivers. They were killed a week ago. They're not numbers, they're names. These are people that are no longer with us, and they raised their right hand and they willingly said, send me to where you need me to be.
I want to add something else about those 3 people as well. You know, a lot of folks think that, you know, we're over in these combat zones, and we're basically talking about the folks who are full-time soldiers. These were not full-time soldiers. All 3 of these were U.S. Army reservists. So the person that you know that's working in the coffee shop and the car repair place that you go to, that's a weekend soldier, puts their lives on the line just as much as the person who wears the uniform every single day. And you know, so we are dedicated to telling those stories for our National Guard and reservists as well. And those 3 are actually, you know, I wish there weren't so many of the gatekeepers out there, but I've tried to reach out to the Army Reserve Command to let them know about us and our desire to tell those soldiers' stories. But you know, it's like,
well, that's kind of where we come in. You know what? You've made allies just by being here. I know that you've never met Janet before, so I mean, I know that you've met an ally in her, because our mission is all the same. Melissa?
Well, Dennis, love the story. I love, like Stephanie said, the passion behind it. You can tell that this is part of your purpose here, and to just take the time to research these individuals and to write a story about their life. And they are people. You're right. They are people. And it's so sad that so many of our soldiers who retire and who pass and are just forgotten. And for you to bring them back to life in this way is such a touching way to bring a story, you know, to life for these families. So I don't have any questions. I'm just overwhelmed, you know, in a good way with all of these beautiful stories, and how you guys really support your communities and, you know, your veterans is beautiful, you know. Blessings. And I would love to, you know, if there's anything that I can do to help.
I appreciate that. And Janet, you probably experienced the same thing. It's like, I know I go around to as many networking events as I possibly can, and have for the last 5 or 6 years. And I quickly discovered that when I'm, you know, you have these little circle of people and you talk about who does what, etc. I always go last, because it's like everything, if, you know, somebody's talking about their insurance business, somebody's talking about their roofing business, etc. It's like, if I went first, nobody would want to talk. That's what would happen, because it's like, it's a powerful mission that we have, and it's a powerful mission that you have. And it's like, I don't want to stop the conversation about other people, just because I know what the weight of this mission that I've been given. And
it's not warm and fuzzy, you know.
No, it's not.
There's organizations out there where it's so easy to fundraise and do all of this, you know, save the kids, save the poodles, whatever. We're not warm and fuzzy. We're trying to save or preserve things that people want to kind of shove in a closet, you know. So that makes it really tough. And I mean, my heart bleeds for you on not being able to get grants or funding. And that's something that you and I should definitely meet about, because I would love to help you figure out how to get funding, whether it's through third-party fundraisers. There's enough organizations out where you are that hold events all the time, from golf tournaments to whatever, and they only do it for networking. If they can throw some money behind that and make you the beneficiary of that, you can get 25, 30 grand from just a golf tournament. So
we that would go a long way for us. It really
yes,
would.
so I would love to take some time and you and I get together and meet, and let's do some collaborating, because I don't really know who's in your area as far as credit unions, those kind of things go. Because there's always military credit unions, there's all of that kind of stuff. And those are the kind of people I am really good at guilting.
I love it.
I am, because my big message to them, I, like you, go to a million networking things, and my big speech to most of them, when I'm in front of them and get to do my little pitch, it's like, I love that you guys want to thank veterans twice a year, but guess what? That's not enough. If you really want to thank a veteran, they need your help every single day. Put your money in organizations like ours, who every single day, boots on the ground, are helping these people. Your thank you twice a year doesn't mean shit.
Yeah, that's it. It is. It's true. I mean, it's absolutely true. So,
and most of them resent it. It almost becomes a platitude type of a thing, because we have so many veterans that we take care of, and again, it's not a warm and fuzzy kind of a thing. A lot of times we get the old crusty guys, and we get all of it, you know, and they don't want to be told just thank you for your service, because it almost seems like it's just something that rolls out of people's mouths. They don't really
like
mean
hello.
Yes, they think they should say it, you know, but there's not a lot of anything behind that besides an obligatory thing to say to a veteran when you see them. So that's where I get my dander up. It's like, look, you want to help? You guys got billions of dollars behind you. Throw it this way.
Right.
Yep.
So I want to help you get that.
Yes.
I will make sure that I will make sure that there is an introduction that is in the works. We will get that done. I will attach this video so you guys can share it on your own platforms, and everybody can share this out. So, but Janet, Dennis, thank you both so very much. And we will see you guys in 15 days. We'll get you guys on when you can do it, and we're going to have some fun and really do some good. But thank you both very much for joining us tonight.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Zach. We love you.
Thank you so much.
All right. We'll see you guys later.
All right.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Dennis took off on me a little bit quick. He just took and hung up the phone, so I ended up taking Melissa off. That wasn't good. But well, Melissa, that was your first taste. What'd you think?
Loved it. It's so nice. You know, lately I've been doing lots of networking and you know, getting together with people and learning about what they do, and this is just an added blessing on top of that. I love learning what others are doing for their communities, you know, how people are trying to make an impact, you know, I'm like, wow, this is so nice. I'm so happy, Stephanie, that you asked me to do this, really. And, you know, just being here and listening to all of this is like, it's really touching.
You know, actually putting the face behind the foundation is one of the things that Stephanie and I we wanted to get that done. We wanted to put the face behind the foundation. Look, the foundations are great, but the people who are doing the work are so important, and we need to make sure that they are honored. So, Stephanie, are you able to go on ahead? And I see a little tuft of hair sticking up. Are you able to do your part?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to quickly grab her because
no,
that's interrupted.
Look, this has been an amazing show. It ran a little bit longer than expected, but how could you stop it?
Yeah, no, it was perfect. It was perfect. And that's exactly why I have my little daughter on my lap, and you might hear her squeak or say something. She's 7 months old, but it's bedtime for her. So she was not having it with her older siblings anymore. And I didn't want anybody to hear screaming in the background. So here we are. We make do. No, they are absolutely incredible. What you see on the screen here is the QR codes to support any one of these organizations. And I do want to add, Zach, Community Dare to Care. We didn't have an overview of that tonight. And I know rescue residents couldn't be here, and we're highlighting all of them because they're going to be on your show on the 22nd. But why don't you briefly, while we're here, talk about Community Dare to Care, because that's you. And I know it's weird as the host to talk about your own organization, but if you're watching, Zach not only runs this show and Footprints Forward, but he has Community Pay It Forward and Community Dare to Care, and he's doing incredible work in his community also. So can you talk about that just for a second, just so everybody is on the same page about what you're doing, because you're on that flyer too.
Yeah. Well, Community Dare to Care, and thank you for putting me on that flyer. I appreciate it so much. But Community Dare to Care simply was because of, after my motorcycle accident, I was told that I could not receive food assistance because I made too much money the previous year. I was laying on a couch with a broken neck, a broken face, and a broken skull. And they're telling me that I couldn't feed my family. And it was so devastating to me personally, and to me physically and mentally. And I really started to think about all the people who actually came to my rescue and that were there to help me when the people who say they're there weren't. And so I wanted to start something where you, as people who care out there, and there are so many of you, people who actually give a damn about your neighbor. When you want to take, and you know what, I've got this shirt that doesn't fit me no more, but I'm not going to take it to the organizations. I almost said the organization, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to take it to a thrift store that's just going to go for, for somebody to buy their next BMW. What we do with Community Dare to Care is we give away clothing that is donated to us. We give away food when it's donated to us. We give away housewares when it's donated to us. We give away anything that's a life critical need. We give away when it's given to us. School supplies, school uniforms, all these things that you need to survive. And there's no vetting. Okay. Look, here's the thing. Life is busy. I don't have time to do background checks on people. Besides that, I don't want to. If you need help, we ask you to come to us. If you come to us, we're going to help you. I don't care if you drive up in that BMW. If you come to us, we're going to help you. Because this is a community that needs to start helping each other. And that, look, you just heard from 3 people who have dedicated their entire lives to supporting other people. They've dedicated I know all 3 of them personally. There's not a minute that goes by in their life that doesn't have something to do with the care and love that they show for other people. And I am just proud to be anywhere near the list of those individuals, and being able to take and work with Stephanie over these last almost 2 years has been just a dream, because this was something that it just fit along with what we were doing. But Community Dare to Care is just there for people who need us to be there, because, nobody needs to go alone when we all come together. So if you want to know more information, just get a hold of me at communitypayitforward.us. That's communitypayitforward.us. And I'd love to talk to you. I mean, I'm pretty good at talking. So one other thing that you can do if you want to get a hold of me, my link, or not my link tree, my card is on the QR code right above. Beautiful Stephanie. And just scan that and you'll have my phone number and email address and everything else you need. So just go there. But thank you, Steph. You know how much I hate that.
I know, but you don't give yourself enough credit, and you do a hell of a lot for your community and for others everywhere. So have to highlight that as well. So definitely, if you want to support any of the organizations that we're highlighting this month, you can either type in, into your browser that onehopewine.com/event/ and that 6-digit code, or you can take your phone camera out, hold it up to the QR code that is next to those organizations' names, and it will take you directly to the fundraising link for that cause. Every purchase supports. So what I do want to talk about tonight, though, is some wine and chocolate pairings for Valentine's Day, because the holiday, I know it's right around the corner, guys. So if you're not on top of it, it's time to start thinking about it now. But a wine and chocolate pairing is one of the most simple yet elegant ways to celebrate Valentine's Day. This year, if you're looking for something a bit different, I have some unique and delicious options for you. If you need some ideas, take your phone camera out. Of course, I flip that backwards. Go to the QR code of the organization you would like to support that we just showed you and follow along with us, because we'll be highlighting 3 different pairings tonight. First up is going to be our sparkling almond and salted dark chocolate. And if you've heard me talk about our sparkling almond, it's probably something around a brunch wine or a dessert wine. It's certainly one of my favorites. I find that it's pretty unique in flavoring and it's delicious. And if you like sweet, it is sweet. But if you don't typically go for the sweet wines, I still feel like it's perfect in certain situations, especially paired with chocolate. So the inspiration behind this pairing comes from none other than the sweet meets salty almond joy. Our California almond sparkling wine is decadently bubbly with aromatic and notes of toasted almond and a delicately sweet but lingering finish. The flavor contrast of a salted dark chocolate pairing is sure to make your sweetheart swoon. Definitely check that one out. It's great for brunch, great for dessert pairings, and just an overall really delicious bubbly.
I think that the combination of wine and dark chocolate is an amazing combination. And Melissa, what's your thought on that? Because I dark chocolate just has that wonderful dry kind of taste to it. I am a huge dark chocolate fan. So, but the little bit of a bitterness with that wine, I think, would be a perfect combination. Melissa, what are your thoughts?
I totally agree. My nickname is Melly Winehouse, and it's not for any other reason than loving wine and chocolate. Wine and chocolate is so good together, and I agree that sparkling almond is so good.
That sounds great. That sounds great.
That.
I love it.
Next up would be our Hospitality Cabernet Sauvignon paired with raspberry dark chocolate. And if you know me, you know I love my raspberry with chocolate. Doesn't have to be dark chocolate for me, but I love, the fruitiness in the chocolates as well. So our Hospitality Cabernet is filled with beautiful mixed berry and vanilla aromatics, along with hints of violet and chocolate. So we opted for a raspberry dark chocolate pairing for this wine, as the perfectly tart raspberries balance out the rich and ripe Napa Valley inspired Cabernet. You've heard me talk about this wine before, Zach. Not just great with chocolate, but even great with, my favorite meal, bacon burgers. Yep. So this is a delicious Cabernet and a great pairing along some fun chocolate for Valentine's Day. Last but certainly not least is our Vintner Collection Chardonnay paired with hand-dipped chocolate candied oranges. That was a mouthful. I know, Zach, you saw that and you were like, "Ooh, oranges!" Right?
Yeah. I was looking at the oranges.
And let's say you're not typically a Chardonnay lover, which sometimes people will say that. I always encourage people to give this one a try because it's more fruit forward than most Chardonnays. Ours is barreled in stainless steel and then finished in oak. So it's not like your traditional really heavy oaky flavoring of a Chardonnay. So I always just encourage people to just try it. If you don't love it, that's okay. Our taste buds change every couple of weeks anyway. So I always just encourage people to taste and try. But okay, anyway, so our Vintner Chardonnay is layered with vanilla cream and intense citrus aromas. With a pairing of hand-dipped chocolate candied oranges, we're able to bring out those bright tree fruits of the Chardonnay. So this wine is reminiscent of lemons, pears, apples, and oranges, and this pairing works to accentuate all of those lovely citrus elements. So that is our Vintner Chardonnay and our candied oranges. So during February, I find that balance means wine in one hand, chocolate in the other, and I think Zach will agree with me here. If you've heard our jokes tonight about food, candy, chocolate, food. We tend to really enjoy discussing pairings on this show. So they say all you need is love, and we agree, but a little bit of wine and chocolate doesn't hurt either. Looking forward to seeing what you decide for your pairing party this month. If you're watching on our Facebook page that we're streaming to, definitely share there. Every single purchase you make gives back and makes an impact for these incredible organizations. So cheers and happy Valentine's Day to all of you, because we'll be seeing you after the holiday. Yes. So there is the QR codes again for all of the highlighted organizations this month. You'll be hearing from them on Zach's show on the 22nd with the 22-hour podcast. But there they are that you can shop and support now. And if you're not currently on our fundraising page on Facebook, you can easily find it. It's through my link tree. It's the first link right on the top of that. So
it's actually the QR code that's on there right now. If you scan that QR code, it goes directly to our page as well.
Perfect.
So,
Perfect. Thank you.
So I am a QR code junkie.
Yeah, no, that was perfect. I didn't even catch that. So thank you for that.
Yeah. I got rid of all the other vices. So now I'm just a QR code junkie. Yeah, that's me. So, but, ladies, I'm just going to say this, we're not going to do our regular show in 2 weeks because we've got the 22-hour podcast the next day, and nobody in this world needs that much of me. They shouldn't be punished that much of me. So, we are going to be replaying this show because there was so much said. We're also, and we definitely do not want to leave them out, because one of the other programs that we're working with is our buddy Daniel Bello, and he was unable to make it tonight, but with Rescue Residents. And Melissa, these guys are out in your neck of the woods. They're in California, but they take ambulances and turn them into tiny homes. It is an amazing program, and they've been busting their butt. They got a wonderful grant that is going to take and turn things around for them. I'm going to tell you something. I wish Bart would have told me that they got that donation earlier, because he kind of popped that one on me. And I'm a big old baby when it comes to anything like that. So him saying that, I was just like, all cheering up. But I'm so proud of everything that they do. I love the 4 that we've got, the 5 that we've got. I love them. We still have room for a few more. We can still add you to this. If you work with a nonprofit, we ask you, come join us. If you don't want us to raise money for you, fine. Come tell your story. Because the worst thing in the world is for people to not hear you. They've got to hear you for you to cure them, to help them, to get them what they need. And we owe them the service of offering every solution we can possibly offer. Okay. You know what they did for us? You know, I just read off 3 names of young people who lost their lives last week. They could have been home. They could have been playing video games. They could have been doing anything else. But they were serving our country and they lost their lives. So please, if you work in an organization that is built towards helping others, helping our heroes, serving our veterans, serving our first responders, our law enforcement officers, serving our heroes, contact me. We would love to work with you. And starting in March, we'd love to have you on this show, joining Melissa and myself as we continue this mission while Stephanie and her husband and her family go to start their successful journey in helping homeless vets themselves. And guess what? Next February 22nd, guess whose organization is probably going to be on here? Just saying, you know. But so I know that I know, Stephanie, you've got a young one that you need to get taken care of. If you've got to go.
No, that's okay. She's sleeping on my lap now. I just didn't want her screaming in the other room when it was bedtime, and she was like, "This is not normal. Where's Mom?"
Yeah,
but no, she's sleeping now. And I'm sorry we didn't have rescue residents on. Daniel, I know, is working really hard with their mission and everything that they're doing. I can't wait to hear updates on that. But I am looking forward to staying connected with everyone, because we do have a lot of plans in mind for, you know, not only our move, and being able to help through the homestead, but also with the veteran housing. So bringing that whole mission and initiative down there, and really looking forward to being able to help from our new location. So yeah, really exciting things. And we're hoping to just give back from a different angle and in bigger ways going forward. I love that Bart does that breakfast. I'm going to have to connect with him, because, hey, we're going to have chickens and eggs and stuff, and maybe we can lend a hand once in a while to some of his breakfasts, you know? Really, I love all these organizations, and I feel like whenever we all get together, it's kind of like family coming back to chat, you know, and hearing an update. So
and Melissa, I'm so proud to have you in our family and welcome you to this family. And ladies, I don't know if you've seen in the private chat, I sent you a message. So Bart got a hold of me, and he wants to get you ladies something. So I need you to give me some information so I can get that sent out to you right away. But Melissa, you started working with ONEHOPE Wines, but your passion is really helping people and physical fitness, and you're a personal trainer. You're a busy person.
Yes, I am very busy, but I love everything that I do. You know, personal training and fitness has been a part of me for a very long time. And, you know, I chose, you know, to be in that industry because of, you know, what I saw with my family growing up, you know, Alzheimer's, diabetes, obesity, you know, just minimal mobility at times. And, you know, I wanted to kind of like break that chain for my family. And so, you know, I take pride in inspiring others and motivating others to be a better version of themselves, you know, whether it's mentally, physically, or even spiritually during our sessions together. And, you know, it just means a lot to me when I can help someone feel good, you know.
Well, you know, you never feel good if one of those is off. If you feel a little empty spiritually, you just don't feel right. if you don't feel good physically, you just, there's always that. So you need that balance in your life. And I think that's great. You're from New York, but
Yeah.
you're now in California. What brought on that change?
So, so born and raised in Bronx, New York, and then my husband and I were, you could say, high school sweethearts, and we moved further upstate into the Hudson Valley, which is considered Orange County, New York, where we raised our family. And my husband has been in the music industry for over 20 years. So we kind of knew that a move was coming somewhere. And it just so happened to be California. And we've been here for about 4 years now. We moved in 2019 and during the pandemic. So that was kind of hard adjusting and acclimating, getting my children to acclimate. They're not children anymore, they're adults. And so, yeah, it was, it was a move through his job, and we love it. Happy to be here.
Yeah, what are some of the differences that move meant to you personally?
Personally, I think it was just time for change. They asked us to move a couple of times before we actually said yes. And at that moment, I just felt like it was time. And it definitely was. Moving to California actually taught me to slow down a little bit. New York is chop, chop, chop. Let's go. Wake up. Time to make the donuts. Let's go. And then moving here, I remember getting ready to go to the beach one day, and it was 10 o'clock in the morning. And my neighbor says, "Wow, you guys are up early." And I said, "Wow, they wasn't lying. California is really laid back." So, it kind of really taught me, like, stop rushing. What are we rushing life for? Live, wake up, enjoy, be more intentional. It definitely taught me to be more intentional. With my time and what I was doing. And then along the way, I found ONEHOPE. And, ONEHOPE was like my community that I needed. I was actually going through a little depression. We came here. I don't have much family. It's just me, my husband, and my kids. And so, I said, you know what? I'm tired of going to the store to buy wine. I need a wine club, and I want some good wine. So I just Googled wine clubs, and mysteriously, here comes ONEHOPE. And I started reading about their vision and their mission and how they just, share wine. And I said, you know what? I'm going to try this wine. And it was delivered. I shared it with a few friends. I told them, hey, I could really do something with this and give back to nonprofit organizations, and we can fundraise. And so that kind of led to, so why aren't you doing this? And I said, well, because I'm a personal trainer and I just moved to California, and I don't want anyone to think she went from fitness to being a drunk. So how do I promote this? So my husband was the one that was like, Mel, you are Melly Winehouse. You enjoy your wine. And what you do has nothing to do with it, because you're a responsible person and it aligns because it's organic and there's no added preservatives. So I said, you're right. So anyway, long story short, I met this beautiful community, and they really, really helped me without even realizing that they were helping me. And I gathered myself together, and I started fundraising. I started networking, getting to know new people. I met Stephanie that first year, and it was like, loved her automatically. And then we finally got a chance to meet in person, and it was just like, I belong here. And it wasn't so, it's not so much about the wine. It's about the community. It's about the give back. It's how we work together to really make a difference. And that's what really inspires me. And that's what keeps me. And, I'm happy to be here. Moving to California was a good thing for me.
Stephanie.
I mean, that was beautiful. I'm lucky to have spent time with Melissa and, you know, grown to know more about her and her family. And she knows, I just love her. So I'm really, really excited for her to kind of get to know the community here with the Community Pay It Forward One Hope fundraiser and be able to support in that way. But, you know, there's really not a better person than her to jump in and fill in. And she has a huge heart, Zach, just like you. So you know, it's good all the way around. And that's what I always say is this, Melissa, when Zach and I met, you know, we knew we would work together somehow. In the initial conversation, we weren't sure exactly how just yet, but you know, he's doing the same thing, just for everyone, not just nonprofits. He's supporting nonprofits. He's supporting people in his community. You know, if a family goes into a financial difficulty or someone gets sick, like he can help everybody. Whereas I know we're sometimes limited in that space to just nonprofits, but it's such a perfect pairing because this show is a platform to share what these nonprofits are doing and get their word out to more people. Help them fundraise along the way, but you know, they have options with the fundraising, Community Pay It Forward, ONEHOPE, and just getting their message out and just sharing their, you know, their mission with everybody. So it's truly been such an incredible journey that I mean, I'm not going to be gone, guys. Like I am going to follow along and see what everybody's up to. You know, there are going to be some challenges, of course, with Wi-Fi and things. So I have not committed to any live streaming at all for a while because I just don't know how that's all going to work in the beginning. You know, but I'm really excited for you guys to just grab a hold of this and keep running because what we started is really awesome. The dog's telling you it's time to go.
Yeah, you know, he's sitting there and he's like, hey, you know, so
it's time for me to go out, Dad.
Yeah, he just came in. He is really cold, actually. So, but yet, you know, and I think the important thing about what we've done is we've allowed people to tell their story, and that's so important because where the fundraising at times is extremely slow, you know, still being able to make sure that people understand that they're out there. That's so important. Hearing the words that, God, I wish I would have known about you before this happened. That's so devastating to business, nonprofits, everyone, you know, you personally. And it's just like, God, how much louder do I have to scream? And if we can get, you know, one or two people to watch us, and then they tell one or two more people, and then, you know, it's something that we really, you know, when Stephanie and I sat down and we started throwing ideas at the wall to see what would stick, that was something that we wanted to make sure that we did. We wanted to make sure that we give them a chance to introduce themselves. And that's the reason why you saw tonight, we've started to create a wonderful, wonderful family of just awesome people. And to add someone like you to this is just, it's so important. And I couldn't be happier. Melissa, what are some of the things that really touch your heart when it comes to nonprofits?
Well, I think that, you know, especially since starting ONEHOPE, you know, I remember doing my first event, and it happened to be a housewarming party, and she wanted to have a wine tasting, and she was fundraising for, I believe, it was the Kidney Foundation. And it was the first time that I learned about, you know, this organization. So, you know, I did my research, and while I'm there and I asked the host, you know, to just give a little explanation as to why she chose the nonprofit, my heart sank. And just to hear her story and how, you know, kidney disease affected her life for so long. And thankfully now she's great and we became really great friends. It's the story that really captured my heart. And to be in the midst of people who can share something like this and have a purpose and want to help others and dig into their communities. That's what I want to do. And so I found a platform through ONEHOPE where I can do that. So my favorite thing is just listening to the stories, listening to how purpose driven, someone is, to just like writing a book about someone's life that passed. Like, those are just beautiful things. So it's a blessing to just, learn and hear the story and be able to share that and help others do the same. So
there are organizations that we run into with afflictions that we may not have ever even heard of. Mm-hmm. And it's, one that was very personal to Stephanie, but I knew nothing about, was pandas. And it was amazing to learn that, doctors all over the world don't ever check for it because they don't even know it exists. Mm-hmm. And I think that being able to, like you said, listen and tell that story and offer people, the view from that side, it is. And like I said, I'm really happy that we got to meet, and I'm just thrilled that you are with us, and I want to welcome you officially as a co-host to our show, and of course you come in when when we've only got one show in the month, but but that's okay. We'll work you in slow. So
for sure, no worries. I'll be here. Thank you so much, for the opportunity to come and do this with you guys. And I'm looking forward, to sharing more stories, hearing more stories, helping fundraise, make an impact. That's, thank you for, inviting me. I appreciate it.
Well, like I said, it's a pleasure, and Stephanie introduced us, and I told you that day that, look, if Stephanie says that you're a right fit, I know you're a right fit. So, Stephanie,
you're a dog person too, Zach. Don't worry.
Yeah,
we all understand what the dogs are doing around you.
It's not even like I want to be a dog person. They just don't let me not be a dog person. So they kind of get their way a lot of times. So, yeah. But Stephanie, I don't know exactly how many more shows you're going to be on, but I need you to know that I appreciate everything that you have done for Community Pay It Forward, for these shows, and everything else. And things are starting to move quickly for you, and you and Paul are able to live a dream. And that is so exciting to me, to see that you're able to take and grab a hold of what you guys are doing. And as much as I'm going to miss you, as
you're not completely getting rid of
that. As much as I'm going to miss you as like being here all the time, I know you're going to be around, and no matter how far away you are always part of everything that we do here. And I want to tell you that you're always family. You're always going to be here, and thank you.
Thank you, Zach. And now you're going to make me cry. This is crazy. No, but thank you. I love what we've been able to do and accomplish, together. We're better together. Yeah. Really. Yep. We really are. And I look forward to seeing this grow more and more and flourish. So whether I see you on air all the time, or, I'm popping in here and there, or, maybe able to give and support in different ways in the future. Who knows? That's the goal. That's the goal, is to be able to do more and have a platform to do that.
Well, you're going to end up popping in because I'm going to bug the hell out of you if you don't. So now I need humans to pop in on me every once in a while because the animals just won't stop. So once again, before you leave, though, can you please explain this one last time?
Absolutely. So these are the organizations that we are highlighting and supporting, not just this month, but you know that with ONEHOPE, you guys can always go and support your favorite organization. But you heard from these guys tonight, Veterans Honoring Veterans. Rescue Residents we didn't have on tonight, but you will hear from them. And actually, we've had them on the show before. So you can definitely scroll through and check that out. It's still living on our page if you're on there. Healing Warriors, you heard from them tonight. The Price of Freedom Foundation, you heard from Dennis. And of course, last but certainly not least, Community Dare to Care, because Zach is always organizing to help and support his community and people all over. So you can hold up your phone to any of those QR codes. It will take you directly to the fundraising page, and you can shop, sip, support, send a gift and support any of these organizations. So every single purchase would give back. So yeah, you can support the cause of your choice right there.
Well, and that shareable will be on the Facebook page. The Facebook page is
on there.
Yep. And you can get to the Facebook page simply by scanning this QR code. Folks,
that one. Sorry, I went like this. That one.
Yeah. Oh, believe me, I'm about to get to that point where I'm going this one.
But you can also through the link tree that's just under my name, you can find it easily that way too.
But I would like to invite you all to stick around. This last week's episode of Footprints Forward is going to be playing immediately after this show. And I met a young veteran who ended up having problems with being trafficked. And then she joined the Army and was not treated very well. And she almost lost her life. So, and find out how Kim took and turned herself around. We also had her mentor on there, which was kind of surprising, Stephanie. I was sitting there and I sent out the message to everyone saying, hey, here's the link. And I heard the boop that I get. And I took and I was like going, all right, who's joining? Who in the hell are you? But it was a guy that she gave the link to join. It was her mentor. And so you're going to meet her mentor, because I was like, well, I'm not just going to kick him off and tell him, no, you can't be here. But awesome. It was a fantastic episode in the fact that you got to learn a lot from somebody who, and just being young, attractive female, getting into having a difficult family life and growing up and trying to get out of all that, all that situation and joining the Army because you knew that was your only way out. And then having that turn around on you, it's terribly tragic to hear the story, but it's wonderful what she's done. So, ladies, thank you very much for this. And I look forward to talking to both of you at some time on the 22nd. We will continue this again next month. After that, you will see this show many, many times throughout the month. So please be looking for it. Once again, this is the beginning. The 22nd is coming on. So, hey, everybody, please remember to love somebody, because somebody out here loves you. If you're not helping someone, you're hurting everyone. So remember, no one needs to go it alone. When we all come together. Thank you very much. Take care of each other. We're all we got. We'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.
Stepping out of her fear, bring me home. Out alone to show me the way. You wanna be a part of Sunset Boulevard.